Really great wrestling move, 3/4 Nelson being used at ADCC by Michael Pixley of Daisy Fresh. I think we need to highlight this. So Pixley ends up getting an overhook, right? And then go ahead and have your arm around, so you get the wizard position, right? So you can even, I think a few times he even throws this way, but the main thing you have to pay attention to is getting someone distracted, right? Because if he were to just try to go for something like this, right, they're gonna block you, right? So using the wizard, he actually ends up getting Morgali all the way down like that. So it's kind of the main thing where it's like they're thinking about protecting their face and not your hands. So from here, like the wizard motion gets them down. So even if they go down to here, they're not necessarily, so we're just gonna go down to here so you can see what we're doing. All right, so we're gonna be here, but you see how they're not thinking of protecting their neck here. So this is the opportunity where you can then continue your arm across the neck, and then you can get the position. So a lot of people are getting the gable grip. I usually do the S grip. Both are totally fine. Just do what you're used to, or try both, see what works for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and break down the 3/4 Nelson. So imagine, basically you just got to get them distracted first, because like say if Cindy's here, so even if we're doing like a no-gi situation and they're more in turtle, so even their elbows are down, so even if you're able to maybe separate one elbow out, right, and then you're trying to get your hand in from the armpit across the neck, they might pinch it, or then they're most definitely going to be hand fighting here, right? So that was like the beauty of the Morgali situation, where Pixley basically had this one arm out like away, right? And then that one was defending, basically just defending from a fall, right? So Morgali goes flat, but so then that means there was absolutely nothing defending this, right? So getting the arm all the way across from the armpit to the neck, right? And then from here, you just grab you clasp your hands here, right? So make sure you keep your elbows closed, right? Nice and closed. The gable's also fine, right? And then from here, you can work your darts. Traditionally in wrestling, you actually just roll them all the way to a pin, right? You can also, which I'll show you this way a little bit. So if you're able to get them forward, you can hook in, hook into the leg, and then get them to pin this way where their leg is trapped, right? So another pin, right? But everyone's concerned about no-gi and submissions. So when you're like this, I'm gonna move your hair to the side here. So when you're like this, then you can use this top hand to pull your arm as far as possible across. As you pull the person in, then you can close up your figure four. A lot of people do it this way, but I kind of like grabbing the forearm because it tightens it up a little bit. And then you can go for your darts or your other variations, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of do one where you just kind of follow through. So it should be, so it takes practice, right? Because, so if you come in this way a little bit. So I'm just gonna try to do the 3/4 Nelson, and Cindy, just with her neck and back strength, she's gonna resist. And you'll see it's not the easiest thing to do, even if I'm pretty well locked in here. Okay, so from here, closing my elbow is difficult, right? So that's why you gotta get used to the timing and everything, and then see if you can't get over the body, so that you can really try to get a lot of good leverage here. So there's a lot of little details involved. So you want to try to make sure everything's kind of happening, but once you get that, then you can start pulling your arm across and going for the figure four. So let's go and do one. Sorry, Cindy, we're going to do one all the way through. So maybe go this way here. So I would say always think of pinning first. So at least try to get them to their shoulder, and then you can go for your darts. It should be that simple. That's why Michael Pixley was able to follow through and get it on some high-level black belts. So just think, so it's just that following through, and then you got it. So try it, see which grip works for you. I'm used to the S grip. A lot of people do gable. Make sure you pinch your elbows and then follow through for your pin, or well, if you pin, it's actually kind of like a neck crank as well. So you could get a tap in no-gi. So think about that too if you want to like try that. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. Check out the next video here.